very much like the words of Graça Michel. They were very inspiring, but that now we really need to do something differently and to change. It's about somehow fundamentally and very deeply changing a lot of the things that we may have accepted in the past. So I think these are the things that I take away so far, the positive energy, the amazing learning that's going on in the room as well. We're all from very, very different backgrounds, so it's just a very, very good day for everybody, I think. All three pillars are very, very important. The first one on financial inclusion, I think, is well recognised as something that's holding back a lot of women on the continent and indeed globally. I think many people have problems of getting access to finance. There's a crisis of being able to set up small enterprises across the world, but I think people in Africa feel it more, and women in Africa feel it even more. So I think this is a critical pillar that was chosen. The second pillar on market access, a very broad pillar, but again absolutely crucial. Different social groups in different ways feel this. So I think we came up with a lot of very, very concrete ideas on what could be done to enable women to get better market access locally, nationally, regionally and globally. So I think that was very, very important. But the third pillar, I think, underpins everything that we do. And that's all about social change and a lot of the challenges that I think Africa faces, a lot of challenges that African women face are embedded in a lot of accepted social norms, but these are globally accepted social norms. So I think many of the things that we spoke about today, women feel across the world. I think women in Africa feel them more intensely. The results of some of these social norms which put women at a disadvantaged position have graver results. I think the way that this network or forum has been phrased, Women Advancing Africa, is a very positive framing. We've spoken a lot about empowerment. This word, though, advancing, seems more proactive, seems more positive. So I think it's about looking at the whole way in which societies are structured, what are we accepting, and seeing how we as a group of people can change things within Africa, can change things also globally, because these are not just things that are felt in Africa. And I have to underline that my own experience of trying to navigate spaces in the workspace or socially are challenges that women also feel in Africa. They are all very committed to seeing progress in Africa, and the way in which they want to see that change, they understand, really means also changes in the world, way in which the world functions. So to put a spotlight on the way in which women can advance Africa, that phrasing, that narrative, I think is something that I will take back and share with the panel members. It's something that the Africa Progress panel has done for a while and does quite well, which is changing the narrative on Africa. When the Africa Progress panel was set up about 10 years ago, it was a very negative narrative about Africa. And I think the position of African women is one in which we have many stories which are of not very positive nature. You know, there's a lot of things that we heard today that are really alarming, which are really things that we want to get on top of. And on the other side, we have this amazing movement of incredible women who are changing Africa and are changing the world. Innovations are coming out of Africa, change the world, led by women. So I think we as an organisation, the Africa Progress Panel, would like to try and change that narrative, but balanced narrative, to ensure that we see change, we see positive social change that leads to economic transformation.